And I think we are live. Howdy. I want to try something a bit different today and um, take a stream walk instead through the forest, the afternoon forest. I may take my hat on and off. Oh no, wait, I didn't bring my hat, so I'll just walk without my hat. And yeah, we'll see some of the forest, and if I can figure out the way it was. Oh, it was this way. We'll be in the park and the forest soon. And yeah, we can talk, answer questions and stuff, and wish each other good new year. Good new year, since it is now 2020. Happy 2020 to you. Howdy, everyone. Oh, people are entering now. Hello. Yes, it's very nice. We'll see more of the forest in a bit. I'm not in a very foresty place now. I'm just entering the forest. What's up to you two? I bleach. Howdy, Andrea. Is it Andrea? Yes. Any projects planned for the beginning of 2020? Asked Landon. Well, for January, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break. Basically taking an extended leave for a little while, and I'll pause my Patreoning for any patrons wondering. I won't, obviously, we're in charge for anything while I'm not working. But I'm just basically going to stop for a little bit and just make sure I can get my spirit back and make sure I'm producing content that reflects, me being what I think you guys deserve to see, which is an energetic person with, positivity and something good to bring, and something constructive to bring, That's what I'm here for, so I need to make sure I have that spirit back and I'm not too burned out. The way you don't get that many strange look from others. Well, that's the nice thing about out here is I won't get as many strange looks. Hey there, Strush, Happy New Year. Thanks for being awesome, says Medicine. Oh, Happy New Year to you too, Medicine. Cafe, who's the character? Oh, different person. Do you like Baby Yoda, says Andrea. I don't know, the design doesn't really interest me. I don't really get into cutesy stuff myself, I like Yoda as a person who is older and adult and mature and wise, and I actually have a book that I read every night called Be More Yoda, which is basically about mindfulness in the Star Wars universe and what we can learn from it. So I like Yoda as an adult. Do I like cockatoos? Actually, you probably do hear cockatoos, Lolly. There's no, I don't think any big parrots out here. It's just regular birds like miners and quarians and yeah, just a few of the other parrots. Are you going to the Sonic movie? Asked Michael Richardson. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I probably will, because I think I get a kick out of seeing Sonic and what's the name of the guy who plays the Grinch? Jim Carrey. I mean, just that's going to be an enjoyable performance to see, regardless of how terrible it is. And if it isn't Rekno, hey man, how you doing? Good to see you. Have you seen The Rise of Skywalker? Oh yes, I have, TJG. Good question. I saw it the other night. Ironically, I think I got more emotional joy out of. I also saw Jojo the Rabbit, which I actually enjoyed much more than. No, I didn't enjoy it much more, but I got more of an emotional reaction out of it, and probably had 1/10 of the budget. I will say I understand why people think it's kind of fanficky, but I still enjoyed it because I like Rey, Poe, and Finn so much. I just wanted to see an adventure where they were all together, and it gave me that, and there was that sense of togetherness, and it gave me everything I want from an Avengers movie, which is that those characters together, I don't really care what they're doing, as long as they're together. And I actually really like the plot twist about who Rey is, even though I didn't think bloodlines needed to exist. That really connected with me, and I think it's very cool, and I would have liked her to have a different last name at the end that she was proud of, but that's the way they got to go to be safe. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Probably The Last Jedi. That was from Dylan. What is this? Let's see. From Renee. Hello, Renee. How you doing? About to go to bed, but thought I'd just stop by and say hi once the rare times awake during a stream. Oh, no worries, Renee. Yeah, I do these at crazy hours. I appreciate you dropping by. Hey, Strider, been a huge fan for a while now. Well, how's the new year treating you? Any big plans? Enjoy your walk, man. Oh, hey, Kilkenny. I've just had a bit of a cold. I basically pushed myself a little bit quite hard to get the final video out before Christmas, to give you guys something on Christmas, just my own little thing to give you on Christmas. And so I've been sort of recovering from a couple of 5 a.m. finishes and not really getting enough sleep. But I'm feeling much better, much better. I went through the worst of it. I just had a bad fever for a little while, and just a paracetamol tablet, and my temperature went down, and, you know, just recovery. The first time in probably 6-7 years, I only did half of my cardio hour. I was like, I have to be on 16 intensity instead of 17 intensity today, and I don't know if I can do the full hour. It was terrible. I was like, I must be sick. Thank you for the donation, Jack Pog. You say, can you do a ranking of the Star Wars movies? I'll do you one right now if you like. We'll just go from worst to what I consider best. Actually, no, we'll go best to worst. Last Jedi I put best for me. Return of the Jedi, I'm going to put that third, actually. So I'd say Last Jedi, Empire Strikes Back as a second best. These are my favorite, not worst to best. Then I would go the Return of the Jedi for third. Then I would go, I guess, New Hope. And then I'd go The Force Awakens, I think. Actually, no, I might put The New Hope ahead. No, that's fine. Force Awakens and... I might put The Rise of Skywalker, actually, at about number 3 or 4. Because I genuinely enjoy that, and I like the fast breakneck pace, despite how fanficky it is. Because even though it sounds fanficky, I do really kind of enjoy just how crazy and silly it is. So I kind of embrace the silliness on that one. So yeah, and obviously my least favorite is the Return of the Sith, or whatever it is. The Sith. What was it? Revenge of the Sith. That was just like the most stupid, emo, forceful, dumb movie. Like, I do not think that's the best of the prequel. So anyway, I've gotten way off topic. So I'll jump onto. Oh, it's Autobot. How you doing, Autobot Starscream? I love how you felt the need to stress 20 times a minute that yes, you're actually saying you like The Last Jedi. Yeah. I really did like it. So it's. But I liked both Abrams movies. I didn't like The Force Awakens that much, but I did like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So, any thoughts on a best and worst video game movies? So that's from Charville. That'd be a tough one, because there's been a lot of really boring Uwe Boll movies, and I feel like we're just entering a time where I'm trying not to think of adding new ideas, because that's a really good idea of something we could do with the Sonic movie coming out, is talk about the Sonic movie games. Damn it. No, I'm not going to add ideas right now. I'm off. I'm not doing that. But yeah, that's a really good idea, actually, particularly with the Sonic movie coming out. So yeah, that would be an interesting list. Have you seen any Thomas movies? I haven't seen them. I think Magic Railroad's a really popular one, Diamond Tank Engine, but let's see. Hi, I love your videos. Where do you live? Says Gina. I'm down in Brisbane. Gina? Yeah, near Chermside. You'll often see me walking around Chermside, the mall. I'm all walk in my spare time. Happy New Year, says Yellow Star. Happy New Year to you too. Stephen Merchant isn't good. Let's see. Howdy to you too, Andrew. Any thoughts for a best and worst video? Oh, you already asked that. And I answered Shovel. Thoughts about the Australia fire? Oh, that's been terrible. Tech Pug. Robin actually got caught in the smoke quite badly. So that, but she's much better off now. It was really bad pollution there for a while. Brisbane City didn't actually get hit by much of the smoke, but we've very much lost some firemen and a few people, and I don't know, our political figures are effing idiots, because while it's happening, they're off partying it up, but that's just political figures in a nutshell, really, you know, just complete disconnectment from human suffering and that sort of thing. But what can you do, except pay them less, like Norway? Anyway, I'm not going to go political on that, even though I think there is socialist lessons we can learn from places like Norway. In this case, I'm not going to break that up. Anyway, and things you guys actually want to hear about. What is your 2020 year resolution? I'm going to get... I just went into a session today to look into my OCD, so I'm going to try and get my OCD a little bit more under control and try and just practice some cognitive behavioral therapy. I also want to make sure this January I get back into the habit of meditating for at least 5 minutes every morning, and make sure I do that. A little under the weather, but okay, thanks. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear it, Autobot. I really began to enjoy South Park. I know, Kenyon. You've been going on about South Park a lot lately. It's really connected. It really connected with you lately, and I'm honestly really glad to see it, man. Yeah. Josh, what is the most brilliant film of films of hope to you? I know what you're asking there, Rathsbone, and I can't think of one off the top of my head that just pretty much, most Disney films give that reaffirmation of being alive that I really appreciate. So I'd say a lot of movies like that do. I'm going to point to a game that gives me a reaffirmation of life off the top of my head. Actually, I'm going to say Final Fantasy X. Actually, I was looking back at that game recently, and I was really impressed just how much it's really reaffirmed about creating your own future and not being told, how a future has to be by anyone or any force, and I just thought that was really cool. I like that. It was a bit of secularity from Japan in a time where it wasn't as popular. Anyway, let's see. Hey, says Gina. Howdy. Thoughts on the new Ghostbusters? There's not a new... That's from Devon. Is there a new Ghostbusters movie for 2020? I did not know that. That would be interesting. I don't know. I like the first few movies, but I don't follow it, and I don't keep. Who keeps asking for these remakes? Is this a sequel of the remake? I guess that'd be. Yeah, I mean, they're talented actors. I'd just get a different director. Quick question. How do you start your YouTube career? From X-Goen. I just made my Futurama video, Top 10 Futurama, back in 2014, December, and was really happy talking about it and getting the feedback from other people. And I still love Futurama, and I love talking about episodes and stuff, and that still ignites a passion in me even today, just talking about cartoons with people and what episodes they like, what's good about it. And so that's what got me started. I also did a review of Dragon Ball GT at the time because I love that movie, love that show. Despite popular opinion, it's one of my favorite anime of all time, if not the. And yeah, that's what kind of got me started. Have you seen The Big Les Show, says Asha. I'm afraid I haven't, sorry, Lessa. Asha. Alex, by the way, tell me if the wind is getting too loud, and I'll try and aim in a direction that isn't too loud. Alex Young, what is the most recent film you just watched in cinema? Jojo Rabbit, and before that, I watched, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. I've just been careful not to talk too much about Rise of Skywalker, because I don't want to give away any spoilers. But there's a lot I could say that doesn't give away spoilers. I mean, I would have liked if they'd stuck with, the J.J. Abrams kind of retconned a lot of stuff, if you're wondering what that means. But basically means he kind of wrote over a few things that Last Jedi was originally getting with. And we lost a lot of that complexity of the Force and morality and what is right and wrong with the Jedi in this one. And it's a good, less thoughtful film. It doesn't make me reflect much, but that's okay. It's a good way to finish the series. Lucy, I've talked about Copper quite a bit, so I'm careful not to waste too much time talking about it. Basically, we're fine. Most of the cartoon community is fine. I originally put up a Twitter basically offering my friends basically in the community I would approve and let them know if their videos are suitable for Copper or not. But chances are you're fine if you're doing Let's Plays or cartoon reviews. You're fine. Unless you are a channel with 1 billion subscribers that does nursery rhyme videos that purposely exploits children and get to try and get advertising money from them, then you're probably going to be fine. It's 11:47 p.m. right now. Well, that's not too bad, Red Jet. Hopefully I don't step on a snake out here. This is great. Oh, thank you, Gabriel. I'm glad one of my live streams is pleasant. Let's see. I should let me know, by the way, if you guys do like me doing it out in the park, like walking out in the park. I'm quite enjoying it, actually. This is good for my mental health. People are excited about Sonic, and I'm looking forward to Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is right up your alley, Medicine. I would be extremely surprised if you weren't a big fan of that movie, those movies. Hello and happy 2020 from Luigi Master. Happy 2020 to you too. Had a good Christmas. Sorry if I spam questions. I'm on my phone, so it's hard to type. That's alright, TLJ. For some reason, I am just always attracted to your questions. It was a pleasant Christmas. I just spent it with the family and visited my friends, and I spent New Year's Eve with my friend Ming, and we watched the fireworks together. That was really nice. That was the one Robin showed in her live stream, except mine were in Brisbane. That was cool. Are you excited for the third? Oh, Vladimir Putin. I know that's not your name, but that's a good name. Are you excited for the third SpongeBob movie? Yeah, who wouldn't be? This one I'm actually going to see in the cinemas, which is going to be very cool. So I'm going to try over there just to probably walk across the bridge. Yes, I'm avoiding spoilers and trailers because I kind of just want to go in and enjoy it. Okay, see you later, Zoe. In addition to Star Wars, what are some of your favorite movie franchises? Back to the Future franchise is one of my favorites. Oh, sorry you can't sleep, Dominic, but if you want, I'll keep you company until then. Haven't seen the Big Les show, sorry, Asher. Do you watch Blue Exorcist Strider? Sorry, Selma, I haven't seen that one. Have you played Persona games? My brother was a big fan of Gora, but Raz loved them, but I recognize a lot of personality to the characters, a lot of character development, and really touched a very large crowd of people, and certainly ones I've been meaning to try out. Let's see. Hi, Phantom Strider, says Tyler. Hello to you too, Tyler. Hi, Josh, says Vivi-chan. Hello, howdy to you too, Vivi. How different is Brisbane from New York City? That's from Devon. We're a lot quieter here, Devon. There's a lot less people out here. And I really appreciate that because I get uncomfortable in really large crowds. Though I can tolerate it, I don't really enjoy it. Happy 2020 from Gotcha. How are you today? What is a list you're going to do and how? And you're a really good man. You make me happy. Thank you for all these years. I hope you get blessed in everything you legend. Oh, thank you, Gotcha. I'm trying not to plan out videos for January because January's going to be quiet. You guys might forget about my channel for a bit, but honestly, if you're on Livestream, you probably haven't forgotten about my channel. I deeply appreciate that because yeah, I haven't posted to Livestream in God knows how long. But one that will come out is worst to best Sony animated movies. I would really love to do worst to best Illumination animated movies as well, but I need to think of a redesign of how I'm going to do these lists, because if Disney animated movies doesn't do at least 100,000, have at least 100,000 engagements in the first week, then I failed at my job because I got 460,000 subscribers. So that's my failure to adapt to the algorithm. So I'm loving the worst to best style. I really enjoyed it, but I need to redesign it and how I do it. I could probably try to worst/best again to try and get the algorithm to like me a bit more and engage you guys a bit, or engage the larger crowd a bit. Appreciate you guys probably click on any of my videos, even the more vague and obscure ones, and I appreciate that. Anyway, I got way off topic, and I've sorry you can't sleep, Andrea. Howdy to you too, Locke. I have 9 subscribers. Good on you, Big on the Road. The first 10 are really tough. Have you played FNAF? Yes, Jelly, I have, and I'm not a big fan. Well, it's very potent in what it does, and I'm easily frightened by a boogly woogly woo scary stuff. So I don't really go out of my way to be disempowered. And Medicine Monday says he's from Australia. Yeah, that's right, I'm from Australia. What's your favorite movie of 2019? I'm honestly going to go Jojo Rabbit, Carl, because I emotionally got a real kick out of that. It's basically about a young German child who basically is brainwashed by the Nazi propaganda and comes to see through a housemate his mother's kept, who's a Jew, that they're just people, and it's just how much garbage the Nazis really did bring to us. And no, it was good, really beautiful movie, with a lot of comedy too. What is your favorite movie? One of them is Back to the Future 2. I tend to mention that one off the top of my head because, you know, the Avengers movies, particularly Avengers 2 and the final Endgame movie, really good. It's some of my favorites there. I haven't been to Wollongong much, TJG. I did go once on business. Howdy to you too, Alex. Waffles or pancakes? Waffles. I do really enjoy pancakes. My dad makes amazing pancakes. We use brown sugar and lemon juice for the perfect pancakes. Otherwise, maple syrup's too sweet for me. Let's see. I'm not a Nicolas. I don't mind Nicolas Cage myself, but I don't watch many of his movies. Oh, thanks, medicine. I just watched some scary videos. This is just what I need. Oh, thank you, Maddie. I really appreciate the company. It's nice, actually. It's nearly 6 here, which is normally like crazy hours in America, but I've got a few people here, and I appreciate that. It's nice to have the company. You make my day every time I see your optimism and happiness, man. It's awesome. Keep it up, King. Oh, thank you, Dean. I appreciate you giving me some company and making being on YouTube more fun. You know, you're part of this community, and I appreciate your optimism shows through too. I actually like the live streams that you do outside. I like seeing Australia greenery. Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it, Caitlin? I think I like to share something different with you guys, and I like to kind of step outside with you and give you something real. In a fairly superficial field we're all in. So I think maybe I'll do this more often. You know, obviously it has to be light, but I think if you guys like this, I'll definitely do it again, because mentally I feel fresher out here anyways. This is more my natural habitat, as we would say. There's a reason I used to do Live Strider outside. What is the worst sequel you have ever seen? I can't think of the worst one off the top of my head, but I watched Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 recently, and yeah, it wasn't terrible, but God, the main character becomes so wishy-washy in that movie. He's so easily strayed, but I do actually like the villain better, because he reminds me of someone I know. Is there a place you haven't visited you would like to visit in the future, says Luigi Master? I think I mentioned it a lot on my live streams, but I'd really enjoy visiting California. I'd like to visit Norway eventually, though. Originally for their progressive views, but I heard they're actually building a lot of coal places, which really horrified me. It's like freaking... Originally they were making money basically off people's crap. You know, their power system was based on people's crap, which is the most awesome thing ever. Join our cats fan club, says Jake. I do like cats, actually. My best friend Ming has a cat called... she's that cat called Bean, but her actual name's Lily, and she's lovely. Favorite superhero movie? I'm gonna go with the Avengers, I guess. You know, most of the Marvel movies are just so damn good. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 I really did enjoy, so that's definitely one of my favorite superhero movies. If it makes you feel any better, only 3 people out of the, 10 you stuck with. Oh, okay, I stepped in on something that isn't my business there, sorry. I sure did see Rise of Skywalker, Grant. I really enjoyed it. It's fanficky, but it's fun. It embraces the silliness almost, and I love the twist with Rey as much as I don't find Bloodlines all that interesting, as I mentioned in my last video. I love the twist, and I love that she comes from something like that, and I wish she embraced it more, but in a positive way. I don't know how to best explain it. Autobot Starscream, worst best hentai. Butobi CPU I'm going to go as the best one. That's the most tasteful one I've seen, which still has kind of some character going on and some personality to the people. And they're actually over 18, which makes it so much less freaky and disturbing and horrible. So that I'm quite fond of. I was quite fond of. It's a good it's a good hentai. If you're going to look up hentai, if you look up hentai, I recommend Butobi CPU. Now, are we going to get flagged because I mentioned a hentai? Probably not, because that's freaking tasteful, that one. Tyler asked my thoughts on Frozen 2. I liked it, but as I mentioned in my recent video, way too complicated songs for me, like Into the Unknown. I just, and then going on kind of into a sort of a sing talk sort of way. It was a very confusing for me as well, and I couldn't really keep up with the story very well. So yes, it is Michael Gamer. Apologies for not saying earlier. Happy New Year, may your future be bright, says Raphsbone. Stayed up till 5 a.m. and watched 4 movies yesterday. Well, it was very dedicated of you, Vladimir. Hey Strider, what should I try to animate? Look, whatever you feel like animating. I can't tell you that, but well, whenever I make a game or I try to animate a blob, because that's about all I can animate. I keep on making, that's something I want to do in my spare time actually, make my game called Blob, which is basically about a green blob who has to run away from a big black blob and meets these other blobs in this city called Blobville. It's pretty stupid. I made it when I was 9, but no, I was 8. I made the game originally when I was 8, but I want to remake it. Bird, bird, bird is the word. The bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. Bird, 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 bird. Bird, bird, bird. Yes, Vivi-chan, says Una Lee. I bought the South Park movie on my PS4. Well, that's kind of cool. Yes, I know about the bird. The bird is a word. Bird, 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 bird. Now I can't get it out of my head. What are your thoughts on Rick and Morty Season 4, says Random. Thank you for the donation, Random, but I don't want to say your name because I don't think you are. I guess I'm just not a fan of Rick and Morty. I haven't even tuned into Season 4, but I like that it is dissecting Rick and throwing him. And I like that it has given Jerry a lot more character and personality and empowerment. It is really cool to see the playing field leveled a bit, and rather than the show purposely kind of always crapping on Jerry, turning him into a real person who's trying to redeem himself. Because I like Jerry, and probably one of the biggest things I've always regretted is putting Jerry on my worst characters in good. At the time, I should have put Beth there. There's nothing redeemable about her. She's just horrible to her children. Josh can't read that fast. Yes, sorry, or people, if I am, whoever posted the question, it is quite hard for me to read fast. Your channel ducks. Well, I think you meant sucks, the Shadow Reader, and that's constructive feedback. But, you know, Shadow Reader, I do appreciate the constructive feedback. So let me know, what about my channel ducks? And, well, it does have a lot of quacking ducks in it. I use a quacking duck whenever I'm bleeping out a swear or make a mistake. Oh, thank you, Grim Nick. Appreciate that. Strider, you heard of Doki Doki Literature Club? Now, Robin's the better one to ask that, Nick. I know I have heard of Doki Doki Literature Club, but I couldn't give a good opinion of it past the first episode. Ninja1920 says, 3 a.m. where I am. Oh, it's quite late there. I appreciate you dropping by. Oh, yes. You know, I don't think the Family Guy all sucks, Shadow Reader. I mean, I was tuning in for some. I had the urge last night. I started watching some of the earlier episodes. Like, one of my favorites from the start, earlier seasons, is actually the Walmart episode, oddly enough. But everything was kind of in place back then. It wasn't about dumping on anyone in particular. Quite enjoyed that part of the series. Thoughts on the Disney movie Oliver and Company? Like Robin mentioned the other night, I mainly just really like the songs. Why should I care? Why should I worry? That sort of thing. It was very good songs in that one. Probably of the dog and cats. Of the dog and cat movies of Disney, that's one of my favorites. Mainly because it's very catchy. It's 3:07 for me. Oh, it's quite late for you, Andrew. What is that? Upside down wine glasses? Very good. What's your favorite movie of 2019? Asked Kyle. Honestly, I'm going to say Jojo Rabbit because that's the one that emotionally I enjoy the most, but I certainly enjoyed Rise of Skywalker. What are your thoughts on Fantastic Four? Definitely I'm the wrong person to ask on that. Sorry, New South Wales Steam fan, because I haven't watched much of Fantastic Four. Why were swear words invented for you not to be able to say them? Well, Dominic, I think the thing is that they actually are very, very therapeutic, and even though we're told not to say them, that's actually a benefit because they show in randomized controlled trials and statistical studies that if a person actually swears when they hurt themselves, it actually is very therapeutic for them and it makes it hurt less. So, very much they have a good purpose. Fly. The only problem is I get attacked by flies out here. what's your favorite guilty pleasure movie? What's a real stupid movie I watch? I can't think of a guilty pleasure movie off the top of my head. I don't know, I'm watching a bit of Puffin Rock recently. That's not a guilty pleasure, though. Is there any something too childish for me to watch? Let me dwell on that one a bit. This is 20 shows. Silent films may be making a return. You reckon so? Isn't that neat? That is really neat medicine, I agree. I mean, technically you call like that BoJack episode where he goes underwater a silent film, and it was really good. And given the resurgence we're seeing in animation quality, that could probably make some good stuff out of that. Because it means we focus more on body language and what isn't said, which is so much of how we communicate. So, I would definitely enjoy seeing that. JFK shot first confirmed. Whereas his favourite movie is, I don't know, my favourite, Jedi Last Year is my favourite movie, Asher, but I did really enjoy it in the Star Wars movies. So, Lolly, I might eventually remind me later to make you a moderator, and just so you can keep an eye. You're always here anyway, so I trust you. So just keep an eye on things sometimes. Yes, message. Do you like baked beans? Kyle, I am a huge fan of baked beans. Kyler, sorry, massive fan of baked beans. The only thing I want to say is that they had that effect on me 100-fold. The socially crippling effect, and yeah, it's like a nuclear bomb. So that's why I don't have them as much as I should. But I absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. I used to live on them as a child. I would have them more often if my lower intestinal tract was better at taking them. And that's all the information I can give on that. You should watch Knives Out. There's been a lot of good reviews on Knives Out. Blue Dog. I've heard it's a really good mystery movie. Have you seen Angry Birds 2? You know, ironically, I just checked it out recently, Jelly, for worst to best Sony animated movies. So, yeah, that was better than the original, actually. They've really, like Hotel Transylvania, they've really gotten the formula down that they're trying to go for with the Sony animated movies and keeping it fun. They're not over-reliant on music, like pop music, like some of the original ones. I feel like Sony animated movies getting a lot better. And Angry Birds Movie 2 and Hotel Transylvania 3 are particularly good way of showing that. Sorry, I'm just getting flies. This is the other problem with being outside. I wasn't a fan of the Teen Titans Go movie, Will. I basically had patience for 10 minutes of it, and then I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me. Are you Australian? Yes, I am, Ned. It's time to troll Phantom Strider, lol. Well, I hope not. I'm trying to answer your questions, and I don't want to have to moderate at the same time, so I appreciate you being very nice to me. Gone with the Wind too. What's that puff thing you put on a camera to filter out wind? I don't know, what's your weird, it's got a weird name. I know the one you're talking about. There's an audio effect you can add. I can't add it on the side here, but I'm going to go to a less windy place. Oh, geez, I just had a huge drop in people. Maybe it was the wind. What is the worst Peppa Pig episode? As I will check out my worst and abysmal Peppa Pig episodes, but I'm looking at some new ones recently. I was thinking of making another list. We'll see how we go. Dear, what's a fly? Go away, fly. This is the problem with being outside, is flies. Stider, no. Oh dear, what's happening? What's happening? Nice weather today. Okay, can you still see me? Maybe we got bad reception or something. Wind is getting harder to hear. My math teacher annoys me. Bugs are buggy. Don't talk about Pepper. Okay, I won't, Una. I was in tears a little while for watching Toy Story 4 because hearing Don Rickles' voice. Oh yeah, well, it was very emotional. What do you think is better? What do you think is better, Endgame or Infinity War? I liked both. I liked Endgame better, probably because it didn't have such a emotionally crippling end. So yeah, the flies are attacking. Run! Yes, they are. Remember, tall Daddy Pig. Oh yes, Daddy Pig is actually 14 feet tall, so, you know, the more you know. Oh, people are back. Hello again. Favorite regular show character? Probably Strongman. What is your favorite Cartoon Network? It was Steven Universe, but as of season 5, I kind of didn't run away from the show, but I turned away from the show a bit, because philosophically, I didn't start to agree with it as much in certain aspects. So, I was, still love the show and still love what it does for people, but, well, one of probably my favorite Nick show is Legend of Korra. Cartoon Network, there's a whole lot I like. Like, Johnny Bravo is one of my old favorites, but there's a lot out there I enjoy. Do you like Cartoon Network's Mad? I never watched enough of it, no, still. I didn't consider it, I was one of the contenders for worst Cartoon Network, but I didn't consider it nearly bad enough. Some of the skits were really good. When's the Laserbeam collab coming? I don't know, he's a gamer who, very, very good voice. I tuned in just for one video for that guy because I noticed he was insanely popular. Like we're both in the top 400 channels in Australia, but he's like #1. I was just like by a wide margin. And he does have a really connecting voice and a very quick, like his voice grabs your attention quickly. So how come people keep jumping in and out? I keep losing like 20 people, and then they come back again. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, Laserbeam, yeah, very, very strong voice and good quality, and grabs the attention, so I can definitely see why he's so massively popular. But we're not really connected or anything like that, but he does gaming and stuff, so I don't think so. Strider, says Una, oh my god, what is your pet peeve? Is it cliffhangers? Liar reveals, and it's such a cliche, but I thought they were going to do a liar reveal in Star Wars, and I was so relieved they didn't. So that's one of my pet peeves. And flies, and mosquitoes, and wind that gets in the way of the camera. Mostly this fly that's been following me for about 2 kilometers. Have you seen, well, I already answered that, Jelly. Yes, I have. And I thought it was one of the best Sony animated movies in the last 20 years. You ever considered writing yourself, since you like movies and TV so much? No, Blue Dog, I haven't, but I would, this time while I'm taking my break, I'd like to work on my game, Blob. But I need to think of a way I can make it so it's engaging to people and not just my silly fan. No, I don't need to make it engaging, you're fine. I was trying to make it sure something I make reaches a decent audience, but maybe, like any good therapeutic writing, I should just make my creation for myself first. And then, you know, not everything needs to be marketable. I'm fine. Why do I need to make it marketable? I haven't watched much of Fairy Tale Natsu Brony, but I remember that it was Robin's guilty pleasure. Random question, but do you have Netflix? I'm not sure if Netflix has this movie over there, but anime movie MFFKS. Oh, I know it. I know the movie you're talking about, Vladimir, but I do have Netflix. You're welcome to ask me about any Netflix cartoons. What are your 2 favorite colors for decoration? Asks Adam Field. Brown and green. Like a tree brown and green. But I also really like light blue, like the ocean. When I get my own place, I want to, that I can actually decorate and that isn't rented, I'd like to get either kind of foresty green like this going, or I'd like to get an underwater sort of light blue in my room for paint color. And I want to put down vinyl. I like vinyl. What do you want to watch? Oh, I missed it. Fairy Tale's many flaws, but it's overall good anime in my opinion. I agree, Canyon. Have you seen Breaking Bad? If so, what's your opinion on it? I like the concept of it, Ned Noodles. Making 2 charming guys kind of working in the drug industry, but, you know, still making very relatable. Nothing wrong with it. Here, it's really good quality writing. Evan asks, hey Strider, how are you? Cheers from Canada, where it's currently midnight. Oh, well, cheers to you too, Evan. I love Canada. It's I'm half Canadian, and I want to go back soon, see my family, or some of my distant extra family. I haven't watched SMG4 Natsu Brony, but I wish they'd pay my friends better, because they certainly can afford to. What is your favorite genre of movies? Diamond Tank Engine. What is my favorite genre? Damn, I'm bad at answering questions today. Strider, favorite genre of movies? Time travel. I love time travel movies, actually, yes. Even the fact that Endgame had a lot of time travel. I love going back and forth and seeing people sort of looking back on times they were and how they've changed and how they've grown. Very cool. Favorite Ghibli movie? Probably Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away. And also Princess Mononoke. I haven't tuned on to many lately, though. Thoughts on OK KO from Twilight Artist. It's very much got the lingo right, and it's got I guess I never really got into OKKO. I'm a generation too young for it. I mean, generation too old for it, possibly two. So I like it. I like the quality of it, and I like the characters. I also like the fact that Gohan, the character for young Goku, voiced the main character for a while. I wish they'd kept him. That probably actually would have kept me watching. But yeah, I like the show. I don't know any of them, sorry TLG. Who's the best BoJack Horseman character? It says random. For me, Princess Carolyn, she's my favorite. But BoJack and Mr. Peanut Butter, all of them have a lot of likable qualities and not so likable qualities, but very relatable qualities. So no problem with it. Probably my favorite though to talk about and think about is Princess Carolyn. My dog rested her head on my leg, says Selma. Now I don't want to move because I don't want to startle her. My cat used to do that, Selma. That's a perfectly understandable reasoning. Sky High and My Hero Academia. I haven't seen Sky High, so I'm going to go My Hero Academia. Angelo? Straight, have you seen or played Undertale? Yeah, I have, Jelly. Raz and I played it a while back, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a good, refreshing RPG, and I like the different strategies of actually not killing stuff, but it got very tricky by the end, I'll tell you that. Some of those tiny mini games to avoid killing or hurting stuff. Straight, have you seen a... Oh wait, you just danced. I actually love Transformers 3. Well, I do not Mortal Kombat, but I respect your opinion. What's your favorite live-action portrayal of Spider-Man? I'm going to go Spider-Man... The Marvel version of Spider-Man, I find... Oh no, Tobey Maguire. No, Tobey Maguire is my favorite. Yeah, I'm going to go Tobey Maguire. He's pretty cool. Thoughts on Twilight? Asked Dominic. Well, I don't mind Twilight, but I don't like what it does to people. I don't like the way society reacts to it, in that it just kind of embraces the fantasy so strongly and how easily we can kind of be swayed by it. But at the same time, I guess it's not that different from the way I indulged, and many people did, in the fantasy of Harry Potter. It's no big deal. It's just a fantasy, and you know, I think it's okay. I think it's bad writing, and I hate the characters. No, that's not true. I like the wolf character. He's a good guy, and if I was slightly less straight, I'd find him attractive. So, but Bella is so bland. She's not someone you like. I quite enjoy at all. Why did she not smile at her wedding? That was so stupid. Anyway, why am I talking about Twilight? Do you like Vocaloid? It's a voice program. By the way, I just use Adobe Premiere and Nero Wave Editor myself, and just I don't either, Boris. But that's okay. You know, I'm a secular humanist, and just occasionally think about Buddhist teaching sometimes. So you're not alone, man, and it's good to realize that, because it's a very high religious rate in America. And most important thing to remind yourself is you're not alone, and it's okay. If you ever need someone to talk to, I recommend Bart Campolo on Humanize Me. Anyway, have you ever heard of 44 Cats before? I have no idea what 44 Cats is. We had 69 viewers. We had 69 viewers. Have you read that laughable SpongeBob creepypasta I tweeted? New South Wales Steam fan says, I haven't, but I do miss doing worse SpongeBob creepypastas. I wish there was a crowd of people who kind of enjoy worse creepypastas, because I love doing those, and that would be something that I'd enjoy when I come back doing. Have you seen The Promised Neverland? I haven't heard of it, sorry, Devin. What is your favorite and least favorite DreamWorks movies? Check out my best and worst DreamWorks movies for that one. Diamond, because, yeah, I do have a few favorites. Searched up for 44 cats. I don't know what that is. It is, honestly, Adam, but wait, it featured me? Oh, don't be silly. It wouldn't feature me. Unless they caught me on camera while walking around Chermside or the city or something. Have you seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? I was really into the original series, but I never really tuned in for much of the Full Alchemist remake. I was more fond of the, and I also really liked the movie Conquest of Shambhala. Thoughts on Bob's Burgers? Asked Cakey Make. Some of my favorite characters and some of the most relatable characters in cartoon sitcoms that I've seen, actually. So I'm a big fan. I've watched all of the series and all the latest episodes, and I'm currently watching, I think, season 10. Just waiting for each episode to come out, and I really enjoy it. So, and it's honestly nice to see the representation of a small business in animation sitcoms, because most of the time we just see kind of the, well, it's still working class, but like, people doing 9 to 5s, and I really like that because, I've technically got a small business as well. Very, very fortunate small business with low upkeep, but still a small business. So I really like watching Bob's Burgers. Hey Strider, have you seen The Haunting Hour? I haven't heard of that, sorry, Jelly. Favorite 4Kids anime dub or voice actor? I'm gonna go with the Pokemon 4Kids dub, because they kind of set the scene. They did really good songs with that. I liked most of the voice actors. There was only basically one voice actor I really didn't like, and that was the episode where he was on, where they went to Mount Moon. I really hated that scientist, and I can't even tell you why, ever since I was a kid. But Ash's voice actor was great. Misty's voice actor was great. They leaked personality, unlike the later movies, like later shows. It wasn't just ooh, look at this, ooh, look at that. It was, no, Ash got angry. Ash was good at times, but he could be selfish. He felt like a real human being, so I like that. My favorite voice actor, probably Jennifer Harley. Super Mario Pax. I'm sorry, I'm slightly distracted by that noise, so I'm just going to walk away from it. Super Mario Pax asked thoughts on Copper. As I mentioned, you're probably going to be perfectly fine. Technically, the rules are in now, and surprise, we're all still here. What a shock. Now, hopefully, you'll notice all the doomsayers will shut the hell up, and they won't be asked to account for the fact that they told everyone YouTube was going to die and all the channels were going to die and that everyone was going to be dealing with 42,000 fines. We're not, but no one's going to ask them to be accountable for that. Like most doomsayers, they get to walk away from it, despite all the horror and misery they've caused you, me, and many other people. So that pisses me off that they're not held accountable for that. Best 1UA student. Favorite Zelda game? TLJ asks, Majora's Mask by a wide margin. I love that game, despite its flaws, despite its difficulties. I am very much a person who enjoys dark humor and a dark story that kind of embraces it, and that there's something about Majora's Mask I just love. It's constantly got something hanging over you, the end of something, and people having to come to terms with that. And it's a really powerful game. I love the soundtrack. Oh, that final track that where before the moon crashes is so cool. Love it. Oh, that game gives me shivers. It's so good. So yeah, if you're gonna do another video game list, ask Dominic. Dominic, I really enjoyed doing worst and best SpongeBob games, so I'm definitely considering it because I got a real kick out of that. So I'm thinking worst and best Disney games when I come back, but you let me know if you have any suggestions on Twitter, okay? Because definitely I'm looking for suggestions for that. Can you do a more video top list? Well, that's what I do, Natsu. That's my job. Just taking a break at the moment, though. Do you still hate Hannah Montana? Says Super Jackson Bros. I've mellowed to it, to be honest, Super Jackson Bros. I don't hate it as much as I did. It's relatively harmless now that I look back on it, compared to a lot of things. Yeah, it's a lovely place, Julio. I agree. This is a really nice place. Isn't it great music and great sound? This is the music of the forest. And it's something to be that I appreciate. Josh could be a Joe Star if he wanted to be. He's a master at DDR. They give you a stand power. Yeah, I've played DDR for 15 years. I don't show it off quite as much as Martin. He's fantastic as well, but I don't know, nowadays I play double and on expert and that sort of thing, and I just really try to enjoy it. I meant Robin from Anime America, says Angelo. Sorry I missed that. But if you mean, did you ask about, because Robin will be fine on Copper as well, you know, we should all be perfectly fine. Have you seen Dark Crystal Age of Resistance? I didn't, sorry, Asher. If only Australia wasn't overwhelmed with flies. Oh yeah, we get a lot of them, TLJ. Favorite Disney quotes, strides. Una, from Una. Just trying to think, what's one I like? Oh, there's so many good ones. Probably the one at the end of Zootopia that Judy makes is really good. A lot of what Judy says is just really potent and powerful, though. Let's see. Thoughts on the Sonic movie? Well, I will tune in for it. Super Mario PAX. Have you seen Shin God? Who asked about Hideaki Anno there? I saw something jump up about Evangelion. Wait, Shin Godzilla by Hideaki Anno, who also did Evangelion. No, I haven't, Shin, but I watched a lot of the Gainax stuff, like Abenabashi and that sort of thing that Hideaki Anno worked on, and I was a big fan. So I didn't like the third Evangelion reboot. I thought that was really terrible. Really terrible. I've been subscribed since your Worst Cartoon Network shows list. Well, thank you, Super Jackson Bros. I appreciate you being on this interesting ride with me and sticking with me. There's a lot of turnover in YouTube, and I understand if you get a bit bored of me. So thank you very much for sticking with me. Let's see. Do you have any ideas for a plot for a potential sequel to Inside Out? Honestly, just Riley as a teenager would be really, really fascinating. I would love to see the conflicts there. But as you get into teenagehood, there's certain things Disney can't talk about and do, and that's just the nature of the ESRB system. But I think they could tiptoe around it, and I think they could do it with a lot more subtlety than, say, Big Mouth. Because Big Mouth actually does the inside of the brain thing a couple of times, and it does it really well. But there's a lot of stuff Big Mouth can do, obviously, that Inside Out can't talk about in human development. So, and they could do a lot more tastefully as well in Inside Out. So, yep, I am your friend. Oh, you certainly can, Alex. Thank you for asking. Feel free to add me on Facebook if you'd like. Do you mean MPA, not ESRB? I probably do EKR. ESRB might be the Australian version. 2:30 a.m. where I am. I'll appreciate you tuning in, Kit Kat. Thoughts on Detective Pikachu? Asked Robin because I wanted to go see it, but I never got the chance. I never had anyone to see it with at the time. Hi, Strode, I love your videos and thanks for all your content. It's nice seeing something that isn't a mall. Well, thank you, Zachary. It's nice being out and something that isn't a mall. Let's see. Thoughts on Tron Legacy? Actually, one of my editors, James, would be the better one to ask about that, actually. Not James, but the other James. Time Lord. He knows all about. He loves that movie. Let's see. Thoughts on Rio movie from 2011 Blue Sky. It's funny you ask, actually, because I was planning on actually reviewing Rio when I do Blue Sky Studios, because then that's another one I want to do, worst to best Blue Skies. But I think I'll make it worst and best, because that's something you guys haven't seen before, and it keeps with the formula that YouTube seems to like better. And I don't know, maybe you guys like that formula better, I don't know. SpongeBob or Avatar? It just really depends on the mood, Deanta. Sometimes Avatar, sometimes SpongeBob. I'll say it's much easier to binge watch Avatar, and I can get my fill of SpongeBob quite quickly. So I say both. What about Bluey? Julio, I keep seeing Bluey in the DVD racks and saying, I really need to look at this because it actually looks like a show that's right up my alley. So Scooby-Doo attack. Okay, Natsu. I don't see any Scooby-Doo about. It's 8:30 a.m. and I'm so tired. Oh, hey, Steph. Oh, you must have just got up, because you are in England. Say hi to me, please, says Nig Dog Pung. Hello, Knit Dog Pung. How are you? Hope you are doing well and had a nice new year. Worst and best Lego games, Michael Game. Michael, that's a really good idea. Can you send that to me on Twitter just to remind me when I finish this? Because worst to best Lego games would actually be really fun for me, because I love doing Lego movies, and it's just one of those ones I'd like to have in the library, because occasionally it's one of those ones I'd like to look at and say, yeah, because Lego's another of those escapes for me. I really like it. It's in its own world. It's about to get scary. It's in Justin Good's Lego podcast. What? Would you appear in Justin Good's Lego podcast? Yeah, but I don't think anyone will want me in their podcast, and I don't think I know enough about Lego to be qualified for that podcast. Try to introduce me to Steven Universe. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Super Jackson Bros. I think it's a show I'm very glad to have introduced a lot of people to, because it contributes a lot. It gives a lot of good mental health back and a lot of very good message. It's progressive, like I try to be, and it's the kind of thing I want people seeing. So I'm very glad of that. Yes, Bluey is super enjoyable for both kids and adults, says Mickey Fan. I'll have to tune in. I keep on I'm getting more and more tempted because more people are recommending it. Did you like Rise of Skywalker? Asked Angelo. I sure did. Very fanficky in the story at the same time, and a lot of things that didn't quite make sense. But I honestly like the direction with it. I just wanted to see a movie where Finn, Poe, and Rey had a real connection and chemistry and had a chance to work off each other, and they did. I would have loved to see more of Rose, I think it was, excuse me. I would have loved to see more Rose, but I have no idea why they took, I do know why they probably took her out, and that sucks for the reasons they did. But I would have loved to see her there too, but it was nice to have Finn and Poe and Rey. That was very cool. No spoilers, Zachary, don't worry. I'm just saying I liked having a minute. See that stop sign? We're not going to abide it. We're going to walk by it. Strider Devon Richardson wants to know if you like Ralph Bakshi. Who's Ralph Bakshi again? It sounds familiar to me. Please do not mention Angela Anaconda. I can't stand that show. My hair is a mess. Sorry, guys. I must look like crap. Yeah, well, I don't mind it, actually. Particularly after a friend on Twitter has been talking about it a lot and interviewing. They're thinking of making Angela Anaconda reboot, actually. So, I'll be interested to see what they do with that. I think they'll make it considerably less terrible looking, which, honestly, if they made it more visually pleasant, I think there would be a lot more appeal to it. It can be very relatable. Why do you hate Sonic Underground besides it being an alternative universe where Sonic uses guns? Superbots. Sonic Underground, it just had no appeal to me because, like, it's so forgettable. I watched it when I was 7, and that was the only time I enjoyed it, and even then I forgot it most episodes. I like the story, I like that they tried to give it a story, but damn, it's forgettable. Top 10 Curious George episodes. That require me to watch a lot of Curious George, Logan. I liked Frozen 2 to answer you, Blue George, was it? Blue George. Blue Dog, to answer you, I quite enjoyed Frozen 2. I found it very confusing, though, and I don't like what they did with Kristoff. They made him not as interesting enough character, basically just constantly pursuing Anna for marriage, which is fine, but he needs some more personality traits than that. And I love the fact that they made, essentially, Olaf going through this constant existential crisis, and it's very cool. Why do you dislike Ed and Eddie Silvershine? Because I didn't like the characters, I really didn't like the animation. I found the animation very ugly. I didn't like how kind of backstabbing the characters are, the main characters anyway, and yeah, just overall I just wasn't my favorite. I thought they could have used a few more settings as well. Have you stepped on a Lego? Mortal Kombat, it hurts, doesn't it? It does. Every child remembers stepping on a Lego at least once. Have you a chance estimate when the stream will end? Just wondering, since I have to go to bed soon. Zachary, honestly, I'll finish up soon. I'm reaching the hour mark and I've stopped walking, so it's probably a sign. Weird Al's Yoda or The Saga Begins. I didn't really like either, Angela, to be honest. That was some of his weakest work, in my opinion, even though I'm a massive Weird Al fan. Worst breadwinners. Probably the episode Love Loaf, where they basically try to seduce a female duck. That was really freaky. Do you remember the last Sonic X episode you've seen? You mentioned you easily forget episodes. Yeah, the last episode was where I saw was where they remade Sonic Adventure 2, and I thought it was so forgettable. Compared to the original Sonic Adventure 2, it was just like it was rushed through. Phantom Strider, Daddy Figure's gonna get you. He probably is. Have you seen Wolf Children on Summer Wars? I haven't, sorry, Silvershine. Video tips for depression has inspired me to go on my bike more when you go on a walks. It helps clear the mind. Thank you for the inspiration. TLG, you are most welcome. That's an absolutely wonderful thing to hear. I'm sorry I haven't done more of those. I could not recommend more, going out on a bike ride and just like meditation. It's not going to fix everything, but even if it makes your day just 10-20% better, takes you from maybe a 4 out of a 10 to maybe a 5 out of 10, it's totally worth it. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've taken a walk or done a workout and felt 4 or 5 out of 10 afterwards, even if I didn't feel like it. If I do 1 hour of something that I don't feel like doing, for the next 23 of the 24 hours I'm going to feel better, then it's worth it. So good on you, TLG. Big Mouth or Drawn Together, DeAndre asks. I like them both. But both have their flaws and both have their problems, and I recognize why it's both are too much for some people. I like Drawn Together a lot, but the parts of Big Mouth I really like too. There's certain episodes of Big Mouth I really don't really enjoy very much, but I'm gonna go both. I can't decide on both. Zelda or Mario? Asked Marianne. I'm gonna Mario. I get much more enjoyment from Mario games. Don't know if I have the patience to sit down for a lot of Zelda games, even though there's a lot to enjoy there. Hello to you too, says Barath. Do you like Electronica 505 Animat? Aoi Productions? To be honest, man, I don't really enjoy his work very much at all. I think he's so much about his ego and being at the front of the camera and saying, look how wonderful I am, look what I've got to say. It's very much the opposite personality to me. I like to think. I try to be humble, but like when I see him, I don't enjoy him. He contacted me once, and like it was a collaboration about him pointing a gun at me, and we operate very differently. That's about as bad, and I'm going to say about him is that we operate very differently for a different audience, you know. And so I personally wouldn't collaborate with him, and I wouldn't watch him. But that's just me. I'm glad if you guys enjoy him. Did you hear Weir Al's Hamilton poker? I haven't heard that poker. I tune in for a lot of his pokers, but not that one. Sup, says Samster. Sup to you too. Okay. Ralph Basky created the Fitz the Cat movie. Oh yeah, has he created anything recently? Because, yeah. I like the original, but I thought the sequel was pretty terrible though. I've been taking a break, I'm also glad you're taking a break, Mr. Strider. I'm glad that Etzka did the same. He should have got some help, says Sodden. Oh, hey Sodden. Yeah, I'm going to take a short breather and just try and get back bit of burnout and just make sure I'm producing as good content as I can for the people who enjoy it, you know? Let's see. My younger sister wants to know if you like Panic at the Disco. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael Gamer. Tell your younger sister I apologize, but I haven't seen it, but say hello. Could you say hi to my friend Harry? He's one of your biggest fans before you leave. Of course, Nintong. Howdy, Harry. How you doing? Thanks for checking out my stuff. I really appreciate it. Feel free to Twitter message me. Happy 2020 to you too, Jelly. Favorite stop motion movie? Coraline is definitely one of them. I'm going to actually say my favorite stop motion game is by a wide margin Neverhood. I love that series. Love that game. What are your thoughts on Friends? I never watched much of it. I was more of a Community fan and Firefly fan. What are your thoughts on the song Other Friends from the Sue movie? I liked the starting movie a lot better. Starting song to be a lot better, to be honest. Alessa, that was really big fan of the movie song that we started with in the movie that kind of introduced what's happening and where they were. That was very cool. I love the live streams with you and Raz. I watched a load recently. Well, thanks, Steph. I haven't had Raz on in ages. He works a lot nowadays. But anyway, guys, I better go as well. Thanks very much for tuning in, and let me know if you liked me being in the forest a bit better than the mall, because I really enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks again. Sorry if I missed any questions. It was a pleasure to see you guys. I'll talk to you later.